It felt like the worst hangover I've ever experienced, aching joints, and terrible anxiety. Those are just a few of the symptoms I got personally when I got COVID almost 2 weeks ago now. And this is my first video back in the studio, making my first video all about my experience with COVID and my mum's experience with COVID, my partner and her experience with COVID. We missed 5 videos because we make videos Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday every week. I ended up missing 5 different videos. I just completely went off. I went offline. I went off the studio. Just didn't bother making videos. I took that time away to make myself better, look after my mum's health, look after my partner's health in any way I could. Look, today's video is going to be all about my experiences and our experiences with COVID, my symptoms, their symptoms. If that sounds fun, guys, does it? I don't know, but if it does, I mean, come join us in this space. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So yeah, this is my first video back. Have a look here, right? This was basically a quick little video I made while I had COVID. This was like day 3 of COVID, all right? And this was the video I actually made before I got COVID, but that's what I thought, right? I made this video probably like 12:30 at night, Tuesday, the 23rd of August. And while I was making this video, I was, like moments earlier, I could feel something coming onto me. I could feel something not quite right with me. So even though you may think that I didn't have COVID then, yeah, I did. I think I did. I could definitely feel it coming on. Yeah, so look, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. It was one of the worst illnesses I've ever experienced. It was not the worst, no. But I'm telling you now, it was goddamn close to being the worst thing I've ever had. Where do I start? I'm going to be telling you all my symptoms right now. So basically, Tuesday the 23rd, midnight, like 12:30 at Tuesday, all right? 23rd of August, roughly. Yeah, I could feel a sickness inside of me growing. Days earlier, my girlfriend picked up, and her children from somewhere picked up COVID, right? And I thought, okay, well, I visit them sometimes on and off because, the studio here is located at my mum's house, and we'll get to that in a second, okay? And I sometimes stay at my partner's house, right? So she picked up COVID, and I thought, well, if I don't kiss her kind of thing, and I stay away from her, everything's going to be fine, right? I definitely got it from them kind of thing. So then, as soon as I realized on that night, Tuesday the 23rd, all right, of August, I was like, yep, okay, I don't feel well. I told mum, look, I'm going to stay at my mum's, at my girlfriend's house for however long it takes to get better, okay? Because I've clearly got what she's got now, I believe. I'm going to stay over there. I don't want to give my mum the thing, right? My mum is 75. I don't want to give it to her. I'll see you when I see you, mum, in a week, 2 weeks, however long it takes to be better and to be clear with this thing, right? So I was over there. The sickness pretty much started after I just finished that video. After making this video, I went to bed and I woke up. It was one of the worst sicknesses of my life, okay, after making that video. So anyway, I'll get to the sickness, I'll get to the symptoms in a second, but every day that went by, it was like 2.5, maybe 3 days that went by, and every day I was asking my mum with text message, are you feeling okay? Do you have any symptoms? I was hoping in my gut that I had not given it to her. Roughly on the 3rd day, she told me, yeah, she's experiencing something, and I was like, oh, goddamn. Once it was confirmed, I ended up coming over and helping her with her experience because I was a little better at that point. I was having, this video was me coming back to the studio after 3 days, right? But anyway, this is what my symptoms were. And the first 2 days, by far, the first 2 days with me knowing that there was something wrong with me was absolutely the worst fucking thing. It was terrible, okay? Like I said, it was not the worst sickness I've had in my life, but I mean, it was close. So I've got some things on my phone here I'd like to read. So the first day, okay, basically fever dreams, okay? I slept so goddamn long Tuesday day and Wednesday day, all right, and night. I honestly don't think I've slept as long as I have as when I was sick with COVID, just constantly, almost constantly, non-stop. My birds are having a fight. Can you guys not have a fight right now? That'd be great. All right, there we go. Good boy, Rosie Chicken. So, the symptoms: aching joints. I'll get to that in a second. Head is sore. I'll get to that in a second. And a feeling of not being well. Very tired to the point of I'm sleeping all day and night. Fever, temperature. Eyes hurt. My eyes were hurting to move my eyes left and right, up and down. Terrible. And there is now a problem. A bit of a problem with my eyesight after having COVID. I know, right? What the hell? So I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so aching joints. So roughly the 3rd day mark of having COVID, my joints were feeling like I've been running a mile. Like my knees feel like I've been running a mile. My fingers felt like I've been playing PlayStation and typing non-stop on the keyboard, non-stop for hours and hours and hours and hours. And those aching joints lasted for days. Right? It just, my joints literally felt weak. You know when you walk up a hill for hours and hours and hours and come back down, and all you want to do is lay down and sit down and your knees hurt and you feel like you can't walk properly? That's what it felt like, even though I've been in bed all for a freaking day, right? Terrible feeling. Now, head is sore. Okay, so the head sore situation, the first 2 days, like I said, were the worst. Are you okay, Rosie Chicken? You landed on a computer screen. The first 2 days were definitely the worst, and he's just done something with my touchscreen. There we go. So, head is sore. It felt like constantly buzzing in my head, like the worst hangover you've ever had, right? Just like you're completely drunk to the point. I wasn't sick. I wasn't physically, sick. Some diarrhea and stuff like that. On the second day, I might add. The second day, knowing I had COVID, I had diarrhea. Not fun. Terrible stomach cramps, right? But what was I talking about? My head had a constant. I mean, if I can visualize it, so I can. If I visualize it in my head, so I can tell you how it felt like my head was glowing. It felt like my head was just constant, like I'd just been knocked out. It felt like I'd just been knocked out. A constant buzzing all around my head, painful. Because my girlfriend has chronic migraines, she experienced that, but in a worse way, I could say. Terrible for her. Constant, terrible. What was I going to call? What was I saying? Nightmares. Not nightmares. Headaches. Couldn't think of the word for a moment. So yes, some people say that there is a lasting effect of doziness and what's that word? Fuzzy head, not quite thinking right. I don't know if I've got that, but sometimes maybe there is that there. I don't really know. So I'll get to the next symptom, right? The next symptom, so aching joints, head is sore, terrible glowing head. It felt like that. The first day was terrible. The second day was not so, a little bit better, but still bloody terrible, right? Feeling not well, all right? Skin was tender. My skin was tender to touch. Now, the strange thing about COVID was, in my experience, was that I never really had any nasally congestion. Usually when you have a cold or a cough or something like that, you have a sore throat. You can't breathe through your nose. For me personally, I didn't really have that, which is strange, especially to the point where, the feelings I was having, I should have absolutely had congestion, nasally problems. I didn't. I had some nasally problems maybe on the 4th, 5th day, 6th day, 7th day, but that was just tiny, not really much. Okay, compared to a normal cold, right? So that was my experience with that. Feeling tired to the point of sleeping all day and night. Like I said, constantly sleeping. The first day when I woke up, I eventually got up, okay? I went outside to get some sunlight. I took my shirt off and I laid in the sun for maybe 20 minutes, feeling terrible while I was doing it, but I just knew I wanted to get some sunlight on me. And I honestly could have just stayed in bed all day, but I got up, right? After that, I went straight back to bed. I slept until like 8 o'clock at night. I got up, and I'm with my girlfriend. She's not feeling well, and I sat in the lounge with her, and I literally fell asleep on the lounge next to her watching TV. I wasn't taking drugs. I might have taken a couple of painkillers, but those painkillers didn't have, like Panadol, they didn't have the side effects of being sleepy, right? I just completely dozed off right next to her. I was that tired. I was like, when I finally woke up, I was like, oh shit, yep, why am I here? I should be back in bed. I'm going back to bed. See you later. So, yeah, terribly sleepy. I don't think, like I said, I don't think I've slept that much in my life, okay? All day and night. Fever temperature. So yeah, fever temperature. Oh my God. You know, when you're really sick, you sometimes get really hot. I think that's the body's natural ability to try and kill the virus. It makes your body hotter. I think I heard somewhere to make your body hotter to try and kill the virus in your body. But I mean, your body's doing a thing against you at the same time. It's making you feel terribly hot, right? And then terribly chilled. Terribly chilled. Why am I so cold? I'm rugged up completely in the bed sheets. I'm completely rugged up with heaps and heaps of things on me. Terribly chilled, and then so hot, and then chilled. Oh God. Terrible. Terrible. So what else? Fever dreams. Yeah, fever dreams. Just indecipherable dreams during those 2 days, those two main days, Tuesday and Wednesday, while I was sleeping, 23 hours a day probably. The weirdest fucking dreams. I couldn't even describe it to you. It was just honestly indecipherable, whatever the word is. It just can't really. I can still picture some of the things I was thinking about, but I can't manifest the words to tell you what it was, because it was just, absolute trash. With the weirdest fucking trash things a mind could ever think, and it's repetitive, and it's just fever dreams, right? Terrible fucking things, right? Now, the weird thing, I don't think I've ever experienced this before. Well, I have, regarding marijuana, and oh God, I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. Okay, so my eyes were hurting, and I've still got symptoms like bad eyesight in a way because of this. Fuck, let me tell you guys this right now. So, moving my eyes left to right, up and down, like you don't really do that much when you think, you don't do it, because we kind of just move our heads a little and move our eyes a little bit while we move our heads. But I did it to try and see what it felt like, and it was fucking terrible. Moving my eyes left and right. Another visualization of how I felt, right? Well, the glowing head thing felt like I was terrible pain and felt like I was hungover and terribly drunk, right? Well, the eyes felt red. The eyes felt sore. Now, I've smoked some weed every now and then. Back in the day, I don't do it anymore, but sometimes when I smoked a lot of weed, my eyes went really like, whoa, man. I'm looking at the camera screen to see if I'm in picture, but like, oh yeah, whoa, man. My eyes were fucking terrible. And now, 12, 13 days later, almost 2 weeks later, I'm still experiencing blurry vision. Like, my vision's not blurry, but it's hard to focus on things. It's hard to, when I'm watching TV or reading a book or looking at my phone, to try and focus my eyes onto something, it's so much harder. And 100%, COVID has affected my eyesight in a way that no other illness has ever done. It's terrible. Now, I feel like every day that goes by is another day that I'm getting better a little. Like every other symptom, gone. Mostly. I'll get to that in a second. But the eyesight situation, fuck. It's terrible. And I've got something else here I just wanted to quickly read. Okay. Sitting in bed all night. Shivers, overly hot, sore legs and arms. Head felt like death. Okay, so I want to get to the anxiety situation now. And the anxiety situation is something that only started to come on after like the fourth day. And I've had this situation, me and my mum, maybe my girlfriend too. Wow, anxiety out of fucking nowhere. Terrible situation. You know, I've not had this kind of anxiety since I was maybe 10 years old or in that time span. A little bit less, a little bit more, roughly 10 years older. I used to have shit anxiety back then for whatever reason, okay? Gosh, the feelings that would just, you know, I'd be randomly sitting watching the TV and the feelings that would just randomly start coming onto me. It felt like I was back at that age again. So I would let those feelings happen because it reminded me of childhood. And I was like, wow, I don't really like this feeling, but I'm just gonna sit through it. I want to feel it because it reminds me of back then. Why am I feeling this? I don't know how to describe it to you, but I would feel these feelings just randomly, either watching the TV or in bed. And because now I'm in bed, I then have anxiety fevered dreams, even though I'm not really sick anymore, but my dreams would be filled with anxiety thoughts. And sometimes I'd have to get up. Sometimes I'd literally like sit up in bed and try and calm myself down. Now my mum, like I said, my mum ended up getting COVID maybe 2 days after I'd had got it, right? 2.5, 3 days after I'd got it. So I ended up coming over and because it was confirmed she had it, I ended up taking care of her, and she was in a terrible state. You know, I was really concerned about my mum. She was at times, you know, moaning every 5-10 seconds with illness, like it's like a Family Guy after he's just hit his knee on the road, you know. Ow! Ow! You guys know that reference? Anyway, but yeah, my mum dealt with COVID terribly. But she got through it. Thankfully, she got through it. But with terrible anxiety. Now, me and my mum have both experienced the same thing. Possibly, like I said, possibly my girlfriends have been experiencing it too. But my mum has had, honestly, the worst anxiety potentially of her life. Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. And she's still got it. She's still got it. Like she's just had it. She's had COVID now for a little less, maybe 2-3 days less than I have. So maybe she's had it for about a week and a half, something like that. So the anxiety started to come on after like the 3rd or 4th day of her sickness. And god damn, panic attack kind of situations going on for her. Truly, truly terrible. So obviously COVID has, in our situations at least, COVID has affected our brains to the point where it's manipulating how we feel about whatever's going on in the room that we're sitting in. We're not thinking about potential World War III with any other countries. We're not thinking about the CERN particle collider potentially making a black hole and swallowing Earth. No, we're not thinking about any of those things. I mean, just random little, you know, why does the pillow look like? Why does this pillow look like that? Oh God, panic attack, panic attack. I mean, it's terrible. It is honestly terrible. So, gosh, there was something else I was going to say about this situation. I'm trying to think what it was. It's been 2.5 years since COVID came. 2.5 years, and I want to show you this right now on my computer screen. We are filming these videos live, guys, in the studio when we do make these videos, right? This is my channel 2 right now. But going to my channel 1, all right, this is my channel 1, my Tallboy Gareth time-lapse travel vlogger Gareth Walton channel. If I scroll down, I mean, these videos, this one right here, coronavirus toilet paper. Remember when toilet paper was very scarce all around the world? I made a video about that. And no toilet paper, 10 ways to wipe your bum. I mean, I made videos about COVID while it was brand new in everyone's mind, right? Man builds hazmat suit. See this? For toilet paper giveaway. I mean, that video was fucking crazy. COVID's been out now for over 2.5 years, and we had managed, me and my mum and my girlfriend, there's my girlfriend there, you know, this is the Office Space movie parody, Coronavirus Destruction. I mean, we managed for 2 years to get away from this illness, and thankful for that, absolutely thankful for that. But you know, we knew at some point we're gonna get it. We don't know when, but we're gonna get it at some point. And gosh, I mean, I'm in a way glad we've got it, because we're over it now, because the stigma behind it. Yes, the stigma is true. It's a fucking terrible thing. But I'm glad we've all had it now. We are more immune to the situation. Me and my mum and my girlfriend, my partner, we had all got 2 different Pfizer shots, probably about a year ago. So I don't know how this sickness would have affected us if we hadn't have got the shots. And truth be told, like I really wasn't keen for the shots. I really personally didn't want to be getting those shots. Do those shots cause illnesses in people? I don't know. Me personally, I didn't feel like I wanted it. But my mum talked me into it. My girlfriend talked me into it as well. And I'm glad I ended up getting it, because like I said, who knows what would have happened to us had we had not got the shot. Like I said, we got the Pfizer shots. What was the other one called? Moderna? And there's another one as well, isn't there? I can't remember what they're called now, but we got the Pfizer. Pretty sure we got the Pfizer. If I'm wrong, if we got another one, I will put it in the description down below, the one that we actually got. But I think it was that one. But wow, if you guys haven't seen those videos, this one right here and this one right here are pretty absolutely hilarious. Even that one right there, where I ended up swiping my ass with crazy things. If I've helped you guys in any way, telling you our experience, let me know. Have you guys had COVID? Have you not had COVID yet? Fucking terrible. Yeah, my partner has still got it. One thing my partner actually has right now that I haven't told you guys yet is she's got a sinus infection. A sinus infection where when she tilts her head down like this, it feels like there's movement, like running movement. And apparently she might have a sinus infection, so she's taking antibiotics for that. But yeah, terrible headaches for her. Terrible anxiety for my mum, and terrible, not as bad, but terrible anxiety for me. Thankfully, my anxiety is now gone. Hers is still around, but slightly getting better. I've never seen my mum this way before. And she's not really sick anymore, but just out of breath is another symptom of hers. Out of breath, walking around, unable to really walk too far. Gosh, I really hope she gets better. She's mostly better at the moment. But yeah, look, let me know in the comments down below. Have you had COVID? And if you have, let me know what your symptoms were. Let's get the conversation talking down below so people can read our experiences and know what to expect when they maybe finally get it for the first time. Guys, thanks for watching. All right, we're on both these channels. Number 2 right now, where we make 4 videos a week. But once again, we also are on channel 1 with almost 25,000 subscribers. Those social medias at Tallboy Gareth. I put my Pac-Man ghost face with a reddish coronavirus reddish today for that look, for that specific reason. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. This video is getting released on Monday, and yeah, hopefully we're going to continue making videos for a week. We'll see how that goes. I loved my break, by the way. I really liked my break. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya. Bye.